She tried to turn Spider-Man into her mate and then a monster. Let's get into the video and find out who is the Spider Queen. Ana Soria's story begins long before she ever called herself the Queen. In the waning years of World War II, she was identified by military scientists as a genetic anomaly, someone carrying a rare, ancient mutation buried deep within her DNA. Believing they could weaponize this dormant trait, they subjected her to a clandestine super soldier program meant to forge a new breed of enhanced soldiers. Instead, the experiment warped her biology, awakening an evolutionary offshoot that predated modern humanity. She was abandoned in a military asylum after the project was deemed a failure. Ana's mind splintered as her body continued to evolve. She emerged years later as something neither fully human nor fully insect, able to dominate the portion of humanity who unknowingly carried the same ancestral gene. When she finally resurfaced in New York City, she had shed her old identity entirely and embraced a new one, the Queen. Her return immediately drew the attention of Captain America, Nick Fury, and S.H.I.E.L.D., though none of them understood the true scale of the threat she represented. The Queen seized a skyscraper in the financial district and reshaped it into a hive. Her psychic influence radiated across the city, pulling those with the insect gene toward her, including Peter Parker. Spider-Man felt her presence like a biological summons, tugging at the insect aspect of his altered DNA. When he confronted her, the horrifying truth surfaced. The Queen intended to claim him as her mate. Spider-Man refused, and to try and break him, the Queen ordered innocent civilians whom she controlled through the insect gene to jump to their deaths. Only the intervention of Captain America and S.H.I.E.L.D. saved him from becoming her captive. During the battle, the Queen plummeted more than 80 stories to what appeared to be her death. But unknown to the victors, the Queen had already enacted her plan when she planted an unwanted kiss upon Spider-Man's lips. That kiss injected Peter with a mutagenic enzyme designed to awaken the dormant insect gene within him. In the days that followed, he was plagued by disturbing dreams, physical distortions, and an increasingly powerful telepathic link to the Queen. His body began to change in ways he couldn't explain, and S.H.I.E.L.D., unaware of the true nature of his condition, continued their search for Ana. When she resurfaced, she revealed the full extent of her plan. She had acquired a cognitive disruption bomb, capable of killing every human within 600 miles of New York, sparing only insects and the hybrid descendants she intended to rule. Peter was drawn back to the Queen. His human form finally gave way to a monstrous spider engineered to carry her offspring, but the creature died almost immediately, its metamorphosis too violent to sustain. Believing that her perfect mate was lost, the Queen erupted in a telekinetic rage that tore the laboratory apart and ordered her drones to activate the bomb. She fled before witnessing the impossible. The spider's husk split open and a reborn Peter Parker emerged. Though still himself, he now carried additional spider-like traits, sharpened senses, heightened instincts, and a deeper connection to the insect world. Regaining control of his mind and body, Spider-Man located and disarmed the bomb, preventing the Queen's apocalyptic vision from becoming reality. S.H.I.E.L.D. launched an assault on her underground base, and Ana Soria appeared to perish in the resulting explosion. But the Queen's story didn't end there. She eventually returned with a far more ambitious plan, one that would engulf New York in a crisis unlike anything the city had ever faced. These events would ultimately lead to the infamous Spider Island outbreak, where the Queen attempted to transform the entire population into her obedient spider spawn. Now, we won't go in depth on Spider Island here, as it deserves its own dedicated video. Before the outbreak began, the Queen partnered with the Jackal, providing him with a tissue sample taken from the molted husk Peter left behind after his metamorphosis. With it, the Jackal engineered a viral strain that connected its victims to the web of life, granting them the powers of Spider-Man. As the infection spread across New York, ordinary citizens developed spider powers, only to later mutate into monstrous man-spiders or full-sized arachnids under the Queen's psychic command. Her influence grew exponentially as more people were infected, amplifying her connection to the web of life and elevating her abilities to near godlike levels. When Horizon Labs developed a cure, she retaliated with lethal force, killing the Jackal in a fit of rage when she learned the cure had already been deployed. The final confrontation pushed her powers to their absolute limit. After nearly defeating a cured Captain America, the Queen was fatally wounded by Venom wielding Cap Shield. Mortally injured, but still drawing strength from millions of mutated New Yorkers, she underwent one last grotesque evolution, transforming into a towering 28-story spider colossus. Spider-Man used Dr. Octopus's old Octobots to disperse the cure across the city, severing her psychic link to the infected and rapidly draining her power. In her weakened state, she was struck down by Kane. The combined assault of the assembled heroes caused her massive form to rupture, ending her reign in a catastrophic explosion. The Spider Queen has superhuman strength and a terrifying collection of psychic abilities, including long-range telepathy that allows her to command her insectoid drones, dominate the minds of insects, and even those infected with the spider virus. She can also unleash devastating psychic attacks. She carries a mutagenic enzyme in her saliva that grants spider powers to anyone exposed to it, before ultimately twisting them into a monstrous arachnoid hybrid. Well, that's the origin of the Marvel character the Spider Queen. Thanks for watching. Peace.